Hi, everybody. This is your friend Anthony Burrows and host for Life and Finances with some sacrifice and service. Have you ever observed that the more you earn, the more you spend? Whenever we come across extra cash, somehow it just seems to evaporate from our wallets, our purses, and from our pockets. Now, what I want to talk about today is lifestyle creep. Yep, lifestyle creep. Now, when something is creeping, it's moving slowly and carefully and low to the ground. Lifestyle creep. Now, when you think of lifestyle, you like to think of one's interests, their behaviors, and overall style of living, general living for an individual. The thing is today is that most people, the lifestyle choose them as opposed to them choosing their lifestyle due to situation and circumstances. Let's get right to it now. Number one, when you get a raise, for instance, or you get a higher paying job, or you get an increment, a bonus, a lump sum, whatever it is, many persons look at it that they have gotten more money so they can increase the amount more debt load that they can carry. So if you had a 50% debt load before you got a 15% raise, which means that you should now be much, you should be 65% as opposed with your earnings, and the debt load should come down to about 30% in that vicinity. But the thing is, what we do is that we've earned more, so we increase the debt to match up with our earnings. And oftentimes we look at this promotion, lump sum, whatever, as extra purchasing power. Therefore, we take on more debt. The more money, the more temptations. Think about when you were in high school and you would get your allowance. And you knew that, hey, Monday morning, Sunday afternoon, whatever, my mother used to give me my allowance on a Sunday. And you'd say, I have to make this last for the week. If you went to college, for instance, and you were in college and you had a part-time job, and you knew payday was probably every Thursday or Friday, and you said when you got that check and you cashed it, I have to make this last until next week. So it's the same thing. You need that same mentality. Perish the thought that the more I earn, the more I can afford. Number two now, the causes of lifestyle creep. The number one cause of lifestyle creep is keeping up with the Joneses. It's the new cars, the latest phones, eating out on a regular basis. It's nothing like sitting down at a restaurant, waitresses, everybody just bringing things. Trips abroad. Well, COVID has kind of crippled that. So some persons have built reasonable savings now that they can't travel. But keeping up with the Joneses. Then the second thing is that they see those extra digits as fun money, money to have fun with. On top of that, you got the social pressures. So the friend, they're dressing a certain way. They live in a certain neighborhood. They're driving a certain type of car. They have a certain type of phone. They're saying, let's meet for happy hour. Let's eat out. Things of that sort. Number three now, far as battling this lifestyle creep, you have to look at your needs versus your wants. Nothing's wrong with celebrating a raise, but let's be reasonable with it. Now, the thing is, many persons, when they get that raise, they celebrate with a new something, and oftentimes it puts them in a deeper hole and cause them sometimes where they would have gotten a $300 raise, they are now back at break even, or they actually $100 or more in the hole in debt. Now, a person that's living month to month, who doesn't have transportation, they don't have all of the necessities, and they are not really on, they are living on less than a livable wage. For them, a new car, maybe getting a new apartment, may mean an increase in their level of productivity and output. So for that person, it makes a difference, them utilizing and maybe spending their raise in that instance, and then look towards starting their we'd say their emergency or their rainy day fund. Now, to combat lifestyle creep, the first thing you have to do is create a budget. See, ahead of time, you have to plan the destination for that raise, for that lump sum, for that bonus, for that insurance check, for whatever it is. Plan the destination for that raise. See, money sitting around or lying in the bank account or just doing nothing will be spent. Think of you draw $100 from the ATM. You put $100, big $100 bill into your wallet. You break it maybe on the way to work, you get some gas. Then you get lunch, that's $15 to $20. And so on and so forth. When you get back home, you have $20 left in your wallet. And you're saying, oh my goodness, where did the other $80 go? So be responsible when you come across extra money, or quote, I got to say, quote unquote, extra money. And another good practice to do is identify somebody to hold you accountable. It could be your husband, your wife, a good friend, a family member, or just someone who you have some acquaintance with and you all have enough communication between you to address something like that. You see, money is something where we just don't talk about it. Therefore, oftentimes we end up squandering because we are being denied knowledge by not talking to others, so we can learn, hey, how do you handle your money? How did you cross this barrier? Fifth item is save/invest. The best way now is pay down any loan or debt that you have. So if you get a $200 a month raise, automatically assign that to an outstanding loan that you have, and that will rapidly deplete that loan. And another good way, as far as savings and investing portion is concerned, utilize the salary deduction, so it goes directly, be it to your credit union account, be it to the mutual fund the company that you're with, or simply to your bank account. But where it's out of sight, it's out of mind. And it's the same thing, good way to do if you're going to have to do a monthly contribution if you're doing it to your charitable organization, maybe to your church, maybe to the Red Cross, maybe to one of the feeding centers. Nothing like doing it. Just let it come out through a salary deduction. You see, if you don't have it, you can't spend it. That's the bottom line. What you don't have, you can't spend. And also, it prevents temptations. Some consider buying numbers as an investment. Now, let's remember, buying numbers is not an investment, because the house always wins and the odds are 80, probably 95, 96% against you. And the idea is that if you do not save, you're saying, hey, I am going to be always making this tremendous amount of income, whatever the income is. You're going to say, I'm always going to be earning this. But we know as time marches on, the value of money depreciates. So therefore, it's important to save now, build and invest, and let compound interest go for you. Now, people got all methods of saving. Some people put it in their fixed account. Some put it in real estate. Some go to a central bank and get some government bonds, or simply put it into the one or two of the credit unions where they have higher amount of interest rates. Some get stocks, or they go to the insurance company and just get the annuities. But study and find a method that you think will be best for you. One of the best ways to combat lifestyle creep is start tracking your spending. Know where your money is going. You see, not knowing where your money is going causes you to say, like I said earlier with that $100 bill, where did the other $80 go? And this is what leads people to a lot of overdraft fees, bounce checks, and unnecessary fees that the banks will charge them with because they are not tracking their spending. One of the best ways to track is simply have a book maybe on your desk, in your pocket, in your car. And as you spend, just make a note, $20 gas, $5 Mortimer's candy to whatever it is. And how much and what it's for. And if you so desire, you can then put the date on the side of it also. But tracking your spending, and one of the good ways to avoid those overdrafts with banks is to get your online banking. That way you can use your phone, whatever, to track that spending. So it's important to be able to track your spending so you know where your money is going, and then you already have a plan for where it's going to go. Number 7, the 7th item now is avoid purposeless spending. Oh man, avoid purposeless spending. And purposeless spending is any spending that's done or made with no discernible point or goal in mind, no end result planned. So if you're just going to be out and, hey, oh, I'm passing by Bamboo, let me swing in there and get a chicken snack or whatever you might decide. But are you really hungry? Did you plan that in advance? You know what I'm saying? So that's purposeless spending. And that's spending, like I said, without any aim, goal, or any destination in mind. And you know, I always say when it comes to goals and direction, you always must have that 1-year goal, 3-year goals, and then the 5-year goals. And I always say to people, if you're out there dating, ask that person, one of the first questions when you're all out on the first date somewhere is, hey, show me your goals. Have you written down your 1-year, 3-year, and 5-year goals? And even though things may not work out, but it grows the value of that person, gives them something to think about. Because if you just plan to drift through life, you're going to end up nowhere. End up on the rocks or at the bottom of the ocean. You see, purposeless spending doesn't increase your level of productivity. What it does is diminishes your income, evaporates what it is that you plan, at least what you're doing with your money. It may feel good, but it's a big setback. You see, when you just purposelessly spending money, you're saying to hell with savings. I'll always be making good money and the future is bright for more income. Well, we know what COVID has shown with that. And we've seen what Hurricane Dorian has proven to us. That, hey, things don't always be bright and rosy. You have to plan for those rainy days. Even though you don't know what they are and what the emergency is going to be. But you just say, hey, sock something away for the rainy day. And the other item now, item number 8. Run from any new loans. Please, just run from them. Dump your credit cards. Dump your credit cards. Now, credit cards are good for emergencies, but of course, you must have discipline. Because oftentimes, you go into the store, some person's depressed, and they, hey, let me just go out for a nice dinner. Give the card in. It's magic. But go on a cash basis, sir. Because when you reach into your wallet or your pocket or your purse, whatever, and you start there to pull that money out, you say, you know what, I don't really need that. And you forego it. But if you have the credit card, you can go swish, swish, and that's it. This is why utilize cash. In this instance, if you can't afford it, then you won't buy it. And the deeper you get in with the credit card, it's the harder to get out. Take, for instance, if you have a $10,000 credit card debt, paying the minimum will take you as many as 18 years to pay that off, because the interest is constantly compounding, and they compound that interest on a daily basis. Number 9, choose your friends wisely. And you may ask, why should I do that? And I'll say, if I want to know an individual, show me their friends. And the old people used to say, birds of a feather flock together, because peer pressure is a real thing. Be it teenagers, primary school persons, or full-grown adults. And you see it every day on jobs, where adults take another adult and bring them down to the lowest common denominator if it's a bunch of slackers. Or you can see where persons of excellence take another adult and take them up to the highest level possible. So peer pressure, that's why choosing your friends wisely is important. See, friends don't have what it appears they have, because they're thinking you have it and you're thinking they have it, whereas really and truly neither of you have anything. So choose those friends wisely. Identify like-minded people to hang out with similar goals and similar aspirations and dreams. For instance, friends like that realizing that, hey, Let's not just squander money. They'll say instead of meeting out to a fancy restaurant or even a mid-level restaurant, they'll select instead, hey, let's have a potluck at one of our homes. I'm going to bring the macaroni, you bring the veggie meat, the next person will bring the chicken, other person will bring the fish, this one brings the salad, that one brings the drinks, whatever. So this is what it is in terms of choosing your friend wisely. So I'm going to say, be prepared for your next bonus, your next increment, your next pay raise, your next job change where you'd get a higher salary, that next lump sum, be it life insurance that may have come from the death of a family member, or simply you've retired from a company and you get a lump sum. So have it all planned. See, the thing is, God has given us a brain for a reason. So we must bear in mind the actions today impacts generations to follow. So be mindful as to what you're doing with your money. Then practice discipline. And the last thing I would like to say is, hey, do not have a sheeple mentality. I'll say it again. Do not be a sheeple. And you know, sheep tend to just follow one sheep at the front, and if he's falling off into the ditch, they'll just keep going. So the idea, and that's the case of the blind leading the blind. But be a pace setter. Go against the grain. Swim upstream. And the idea is, hey, do not let the lifestyle creep happen to you. Because so often we are in situations where the more we earn, the more we spend. And that's called lifestyle creep. So until next time, may the God of heaven and his Son, the Christ, bless and prosper you.